person didn't want to leave here. That person's DBM did not change. Finally, you will see many more reasons, though, why the no increase and with the DBM increase, and that is because the college simply could not afford to go beyond the minimum of the new DBM in all cases. Had we done that, we would have had a multi-million-dollar increase in personnel salaries. It is rare. I've talked to my colleagues who have done these. It is rare to put everyone exactly where they're supposed to be in the market overnight. To do it in a phased way over time, and that's what we've promised the employees, is that we would look at these individually. Of the 400 and plus individuals in the original comp study, we are approaching over 100 that we have re-reviewed for them individually, and that's the results that you're seeing today.
And how do you explain a no increase in the DBM and an increase in salary of $6,000 or $7,000?
Those two examples that I just gave, one where the market showed that position at that DBM is actually paid higher in our market.
Or the job changed.
Or did the job change more than 30% in terms of requiring more?
Right, but not enough.
So there's no change in title, no change in responsibilities, just...
No, there is a change in responsibility.
Yes, there is.
So the job description changed from during the process of doing this?
We have moved from a system, a very static system of you have a number and you have three, whatever number of job descriptions, to a banding system, which is what Fox Lawson, before I was involved with it, had presented, and the board signed off on that allows that sort of flexibility that a DBM could have a wide range of responsibilities and a wide range of salaries.
Another thing that can cause a DBM change without a salary change is when we did the survey and surveyed the market, some people fell at the top of a particular DBM, and the reason was they needed to be reevaluated, and they really moved into another group, etc.
That's right.
So, you know, it's a complex system. I mean, it is a very complex system. We're working through it with the Senates, though. We met with you know, for example, classified Senate group today. We met with the Senate group a while ago. So we've been talking through them, and David and Kathleen Scott-Wallace have gone to the Senates, brought this all to them, walked them through it. So.
And also met individuals, so the board is, knows that I and Kathleen meet with every individual who's not happy with what these determinations are, and you know, we offer to re-review them again and bring them back to the board. And it has been the case that an employee has brought more information yet to the table that we've had changes that resulted in an increase in others.
As you're doing a reorganization, is it possible that someone's title doesn't change, but because of certain areas being eliminated, that all of a sudden their responsibilities increase significantly? That's what you're saying, more than 30%, and therefore their salary would have to reflect that, even though there's no title change.
David, I remember one time you gave an explanation like this, and I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate it. But you gave an explanation at one time that we had an employee that asked about their job position, and you guys changed it, and then the question was asked, but you didn't give them a pay increase, and your answer was they didn't ask for a pay increase. I mean, in the future, if we know better and they should get a pay increase, if they don't ask, I mean, will you volunteer that?
We do, actually.
Okay.
What has become difficult in this, sometimes it's really obvious that someone is not paid appropriately. At least it's obvious to us currently. Other times it's very gray, and it might be off by 500 or 1,000. It might be higher as well. So we do rely on the employee to ask specifically for that, but we have throughout this process gone to employees and said, who had no idea and was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Rich, I
I
think
like,
that-
I like hearing that result.
Well, yeah, and I think that when David said that, if I recall, it was in reference to the title changes, because a bunch of folks first just wanted title changes to get straightened out.
Yeah.
And then some of those people came back later, you know.
Okay,
And
good.
others were,
Yeah.
Fair Labor Standards Act,
Yeah.
they wanted a different designation.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
then
right.
might I, you know, like I said, I'm reading all of this information, and I mean, it just jumps off the page at me, and it certainly gives me a new appreciation why folks keep coming to the board and saying, you know, morale is low, and, you know, this is going on, and, you know, we've sat through hours of input from the community, you know, with lack of transparency and all of that. We gotta do a better job of informing our employees, you know, if this is the way we're gonna go. I mean, we spent a lot of time and effort on this, and if it's not working, then we need at some point to come back and take another
Well,
look at it.
the feedback we get from the Senate leaders is they appreciate it, they believe it's working. What we could do is do a survey of the staff once we've completed all this, and David's eyes are going, whoa, but, you know, we can
My eyes
certainly
are
find
going,
from
whoa.
them. But, you know, we did, I'm saying the Senates that we've been working with have expressed verbally to us their appreciation.
We just left a meeting that the classified Senate leadership thanked us on behalf of the whole classified Senate. They said, save for two people, that how thrilled they were that we had listened, and they felt in the whole last 5 years they had finally been heard out, and we're very pleased with the results that are in tonight's board book. We're very concerned whether they would be how they could be taken.
Yeah.
I have a question, is how are these increases in the salary, how are they funded? Is that a part of the original approval, or are these in addition to?
It's in addition to, and we've made sure that it's sufficient funding
Within-
in the fiscal year 15 budget.
Other discussion?
Yeah, one last,
When do they go into effect?
The increases are for tonight going into effect tomorrow.
Okay, so then they're still in fiscal year 2014.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, they're in this budget.
But there was a fund that we approved for
Right,
this for the
right.
2014 budget.
Okay, so is that coming from there, or is this in addition to? Because I'm confused now. We approved a lump sum amount to cover the compensation study.
Yes.
And
Right.
the amount, I want to say is $300,000.
A lot of that was for longevity increases, and then that was for the initial group of folks who were going through. And then but we said when we brought those procedures that we'd be allowing people to go through and review that again as kind of completion of it. So that is in addition to what
So
was
how
set
much
aside.
is that? What is that number? Because it sounds like that's a workaround, you know? It sounds very, very suspiciously like a workaround. What is this amount of these additional adjustments? Is there a number?
We can get,
Is there
when
an
they're done,
amount?
we can get the report to the board on all of them, if you know.
It's approximately $30,000 on these. Of the ones that are just directly related to reviewing compensation as a
Okay.
result of the study, it's just under $20,000.
Okay.
The amounts for this fiscal year will be absorbed in their individual salary accounts. Virtually everyone has some. These will be very small amounts for the last couple weeks of the year. There potentially could be a transfer resulting, but I don't anticipate.
Oh, it just seemed like it's a lot more than that, so just doing the quick math, so some of these are not related, obviously.
No, there are ones that have come that would not have appealed the comp study. The one that we have, the market data where they were offered a job at a
Okay.
very close community college.
That's a good point. Those would be-
Another one that was 30% job change, that one we didn't even know that during the
Okay.
compensation study.
Okay.
Two of them actually, that was $12,000.
Roll call, please, Mary Beth.
one more thing here. It looks to me on page 40, those status changes, it looks like that might have been thrown in at the end of this. Which is fine, except the motion doesn't include those.
Change.
It includes 11.3.1 through 3.9.
If you look at the language on 3.9, as far as what we're going to be approving, the language, it does not include the status changes. Which is why I'm saying it looks like it might have just been thrown
You're talking
in.
about the Fair
There
Labor
needs to be
Standards
a
Act?
recommendation, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not part of it. On page
Well-
41. Page 41.
This is more of a font issue than it is,
Yeah.
and these are all considered position additions, reclassifications, deletions, and changing positions.
Well, this is in a separate category. It says Favor Labor Standards Act status changes. It's not a position, or addition, or
You're
reclassification,
talking about the Fair Labor
deletion,
Standards.
or a vacant position.
Officially, it's a reclassification.
Officially, that's part of the comp study type thing too, isn't it?
And maybe
No,
we should increase the DMV, DBM.
It's a reclassification, I
Yeah, it's
apologize for the heading.
Yeah, we'll change that heading in the future.
But just the motion, I want to make sure that this is included in the motion, so it doesn't say it is.
All right, so roll call please, Mary Beth.
Ms. TD,
Abstain.
Mrs. Bushlander,
Aye.
Ms. Paul,
Aye.
Mr. Anderson,
Aye.
Dr. Berger,
Aye.
Ms. Guthrie, aye. Dr. Griffin, Ms. Howell.
Aye. Moving on to 11.4, we are holding 11.4.4 and 11.4.5. So we will take